All right, let me take this banner down. I put your banner up there so they know it's the Real Estate Investing Virtual Networking Meetup. So yeah, that's good. So
On my other laptop here and muted.
how many computers you got, Rich?
Well, man, I got this. I've got a three. I got three laptops.
I got
in-house call center.
Let's see, 1, 2 computers, a laptop that goes with me when I travel, 3
Right.
computers in my office.
Yep. There's 3 that I use. We bought the school when I guess they were getting out the old Chromebooks. Yeah.
Do these count?
It does, man. It does.
That's right. Those are your laptops.
The school district was selling out their old Chromebooks, so we bought one of those. You know, my wife could use that to kind of like keep up with the Google Docs and the Google Drive and stuff like that. And then I've got one, my favorite laptop. It's a Windows 7 laptop. It doesn't even support it anymore, but it's a trooper, man. It keeps going.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Cool.
I'm on now.
So you say you're out there in Vegas. What are you doing to try to find leads out there?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't got started, and I plan to get started pretty much either tomorrow. Well, I'm being honest with you, man. You gotta understand, I have just been over in the islands for 2.5 years, rolling. And when I got here, I had decided to really stay put. So I had been out looking for a place because I'm, like I said, I was my family, but I've been looking at some places because I gotta just go ahead and give me access me, a place to stay because I'm gonna be here for a minute, and then I'm gonna get going. So I've been dealing with call tools for a while.
Oh, okay. I just sent them an email to cancel service.
Huh?
I just sent them an email to cancel service.
Yeah. What's his name? He could do. What's his name? He's a good guy, but I've been dealing with them for actually through Renee. She's the one who told me about them. She told me about them because I was dealing with a few others, and they just wasn't working. I wasn't messing with REI. Stopped that. I stopped PropStream. I like PropStream, but I didn't need it because I got with this other different type of software. What do you guys like about have you ever heard about Bird Dog Bots?
Never heard of it.
Wow.
There's 1,000 softwares out here. You can't keep up with all of them.
That one in particular is, ever heard of Deal Driven?
Deal Driven?
Jeez. Yeah. Okay, those, I mean, they're really good. Like,
are they like
one of them?
What do they do?
Well, you pull up the property and everything in real time. You'll get all that information all the way down from, just like if you get the information, then you have to call the county appraiser and all that. It's all in there, so you don't have to make them extra calls.
Right.
That's good.
What do you mean, county appraiser? Oh, you mean their numbers in there?
They have already got all the information for you. Because
like who the owner is, taxes, all that stuff.
I would normally, I told you what I was doing for Florida. When I pulled a property, I got to call Broward County down, which is Miami-Dade. Then I got to call the other county for the docket. Then, because you got to see, no matter what's being said, you got to make sure that house is exactly what it is, because they might have tax liens, and you can just call them, and that's what I would do. They have all that already set up, so you're eliminating making all those extra calls. Then you can scroll down, and they got it where it says driving for dollars. They'll show you that platform, and then if you don't, you can do it right here in your laptop and drive for dollars right here. Instead of, like, if I'm right here, it'd be like a GPS if I was out there in Las Vegas right now. And if I don't want to go out there just yet and just see, like, okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses. After I see where they are, now I can go out in the car, the rental, punch them in the GPS and hit them, and don't have to be trying to figure out where to go.
That sounds like Deal Machine. Is that the same thing?
It sounds like it.
I heard about Deal Machine a lot, but I think it's probably better because it's called Deal Driven, but it's kind of costly.
How much it costs?
3 bands.
$3,000?
It's got more
for one time or monthly?
That's it. You ain't paying no more. You ain't
Okay.
paying nothing no more. I've had them now for 2 months, and it don't stop. I don't have to pay no monthly
I'm
or
gonna say
anything.
it sounds a lot like Deal Machine. That's like $50 a month.
You said it's
Maybe I
steel
need to see
driven?
what you deal driven.
$3,000, damn, right up front. You got to be making that bread. It better work for me to drop $3,000 on them. I don't want to
Well,
give them
when I
300.
was over in the when I was over in the island, I was in the refinery. Remember, me and Rich was talking earlier before everybody came on board, and I went over there for the 2017 hurricane. Well, I was in Florida for 5 months. Right when I was going to head to Chicago, this company asked me, did I want to come to St. Croix? I knew where it was. It was January 2018. What's your choice, Chicago, January, or the islands?
Too
No
cold.
brainer.
Too
He
cold.
said, you work, there it is. And he says, just 4 months. I said, perfect. That gave me enough time to take care of some business. That 4 months lasted 2 weeks ago when I left.
I know that's right.
So I was working and I wasn't doing none of this. I just capitalized off of that opportunity. Then when they didn't renew my contract, terminate, because you're a contractor, really. You're not working for, you know how that goes. You're not working for the refinery. Man, that was guys from Houston, Louisiana, you name it, Minnesota, Illinois, California, because they don't have a lot of trades. Remember, that's an island. So you need boilermakers, millwrights, pipe fitters, welders, asbestos. You need all those, and they don't have that type of craft. So they brought them in, housed us in homes. So we were staying right in the community with and other islanders in their cribs. It was real cool. And you just kept, I rented a car and you drive on the other side of the street over there. So it's kind of cool. You're on the left side. I just, did what I did. And then I said, after that, like I told Rich, I'm tired of letting, allow another man to determine my income. I can't keep going and working for somebody again. So I just said,
How long ago was that when you stopped working there?
October. I
Oh,
have
okay.
not worked since October 2019.
Oh, okay. So you've been free just that long, huh?
Yes.
I ain't had a job since 2011, so I've been free a long time. I ain't never going back.
That's what I'm saying, and I mean it too. That's it. Because it's a blessing and a great feeling when you get up for something you like. They said when you work, it's your passion. It doesn't feel like a job, and you give more and more to it. So, man, it's just a good feeling. And look at that. And hear me, I can just come over and fly like that. I worked for them, gave them nearly 80 hours a week. The money was good, and then next thing you know, I can't go see my family.
No,
I got to
you
be
can't
told
do
when.
nothing
You're
unless
not
they
going to
tell
tell
you.
me I'm too grown. It just really frustrated me. I got to ask, hey, Mr. Ramos, I want to go to my family reunion. What? I'm going anyway if he just said no.
You're not going. You're going to stay here and do that work,
man.
like you said.
But that was it. It really felt good, man. They called and they guys still keep in touch with me and everything. They like, man, Al, you was cool. I said, yeah. I said, so I'm telling those guys, you're on that island. You got that money. You need to start investing.
So you've been in real estate less than a year, or how long you been doing real estate?
Well, I've been doing it. I got into it back in the late 90s. Right before that 2007-8, I did some deals with my partner in Chicago. He was really kicking butt, and then everything just fell apart. So I was learning, and to be honest with you, the history is my father, man. Back in the days when I was a kid, and he used to get my cousins up to carry drywall. So we was his free laborers. It wasn't called that though. It was just rehabbing.
That's right. Do some work.
And so my aunt lived in California. I'm saying this now because I didn't understand. She purchased the properties. My carpenter in the city of Chicago. He was a property manager, and he was the one that doing everything. Would get the people into. She was the property manager, getting the people in the properties. She was doing the stage, and she was the realtor without a license. Back in the days when there was no internet, word of mouth. Hey, we got a house over here. My son and fixed it up. My dad was customizing basements. Like, when they got, like y'all in St. Louis, we Midwest, so you know how the basement is. Here, hook that basement up.
Some people don't have basements. A lot of people I talk to all the time, they like, we don't have a basement. I'd be like, huh?
Yep. That's where we learn how to skate and fight and wrestle, everything, but I was learning, like I said, seeing it all. grasping it all. Then, to be honest with you, I'm having you laughing, Rich. I used to sit up in them infomercials and listen to Dave Deodato and Carlton Sheets for hours when I was in high school, man.
So you learn from the OGs. You learn from the greats.
Always talking about no money down. No, I'm serious. So it's hilarious. I just was always into it, man. I just was interested since nearly 16 years old, man.
Rich, you've probably been in about that long, right? How long you been in real estate?
Yeah, my very first deal was 2005.
Okay.
Bought it 2005, flipped it in early 2006, but then I took a little bit of time off, and then luckily probably because I'd have lost my butt in the crash probably.
Man.
But then got back in after everything settled back down.
But, did the crash hurt you or something? Or not really.
No, not really. I was lucky enough. I was working for AT&T at the time, and they did the whole AT&T wireless singular merger. All that. They shipped my job to Atlanta, so I had the choice to either uproot my family and moving to Atlanta or taking a severance. So I took a severance. So that was nice, So I took the severance and was on, sabbatical, if you will, for a little while, and then I had to get back in job. All right, I got to get a job. So by then, right at that time, I had gotten my we finished the first rehab and got a new job, and then sold it and had to use that money and pay bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, I think, that I didn't just take that money and reinvest it at that time, because then who knows, I'd have probably gotten burned.
Yeah, you would have dumped it in some junk and it'd have lost everything, bottomed out.
Oh yeah.
Laura, how long have you been in the business for, Laura?
You get a deal done, you walk with your chest pumped out, you're like, yeah, let's do this. I'd have kept throwing it down and I'd have lost it.
Yeah, because that's what happened. That was what happened.
How long have you been in the business, Laura? A couple of years or a long time?
I started in 2014. I'm trying to think. I bought my first rental when I still had my 9-to-5, and that was either 2013 or 2014. But 2014 is when I quit my 9-to-5 to go all in. I did what they tell you not to do. Quit without tons of experience. But I had just done 9 months in Afghanistan, so I had a little nest egg, and went for it. Thought I was going to be like a rehab flipper exclusively. I didn't know what wholesaling was or anything like that. Thought I'd buy rentals as they came up and stuff. Did my first rehab project, and it stressed me out so bad, and I broke even, which is fine. The education was fantastic, but I just knew I didn't want to be flipping all the time right away. So I started getting more into wholesaling, and then once I started doing it, I just loved it. I had analysis paralysis forever. Rich helped me out. He remembers me back then. I know.
The dog said he in too.
You guys can see her. Yeah, she loves to talk.
She vouching.
She like, yeah, I remember that.
Back then. No,
I remember that.
You know me. Oh.
Yeah, right.
I remember that back in the day when it was fun. So you use your GI Bill and stuff to get into the business, or what were you doing to buy the properties?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Well, I used my GI Bill, all that, back when I got out of the military in 2004.
Oh, shucks. I came right behind you.
Yeah, I went to school and also got a full-time job for the Department of the Army, full-time student, and just worked my butt off doing all that, getting every penny out of the Illinois Veterans Grant and GI Bill I could. Got a bachelor's and a master's, got a new job with the Department of Defense, worked there. I did a tour in Iraq when I was in the Army, did a tour in Afghanistan as a civilian when I was with DOD. And what I learned was I love to work hard. That's not ever the problem. But when I'm not happy with what I'm doing, I'm very unmotivated. Working, it's like the easy stuff was hard.
Down.
Yeah. And when I went to Afghanistan, I actually loved it, except I worked, and I'm not exaggerating. I know people say this stuff.
I worked for 17 hours.
But we worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. On Sunday, I worked 8. And I did 9 months of it. I took 4 hours off for a migraine. That's it. And I came back exhausted. But then when I got back to my desk job, I just became lifeless. You know what I mean? I just couldn't do it. So I was like, okay. I was always felt entrepreneurial and stuff. So I just was like, just jump, just do it. I felt like I was being suffocated by life at the time. We've all gone through hard times, So that, anyway, maybe
That's
not
right.
the best circumstances to enter in entrepreneurship, but it's my path nonetheless. And here we are in 2020. I've figured a lot of stuff out. And the coolest thing about where I'm at right now with everything is my confidence has gotten so much better. And I know that there's nothing but improvement coming. Like, I just don't have any doubts anymore that everything's going to work out and I'm going to figure it out like I always have. So it's been fun. It's every day is an adventure and a challenge. And I love helping people in this business. Love helping people get rid of those crappy houses. I love it.
What made you get into real estate to
organize.
begin with? I mean, was it just something you always want to do? What made you dump into real estate?
I've always loved real estate. I figured maybe I'd be an agent one day and all of that. Like, when I'm in the car and I'm a passenger, I don't even talk. I just look at houses. I've always been that way. The windows are open at night. I'm looking in. I don't know what my fascination is with houses, how they're laid out, and how people decorate them. I just love it. And I also like numbers and contracts. And I like people. And I like solving problems. And I like organizing. I don't know. I guess all those things kind of come into the skill set of wholesaling. Where my weaknesses might be, if I would even call them that, which I don't really like to talk like that anymore. And really, none of this applies. I thought it applied when I started. I thought you had to be a hustler. I thought you had to be a salesperson. You know, I thought you had to convince people to work with you. And honestly, when I had that mindset and I was trying to fit that role, that's when I wasn't doing anything. It's when I threw my hands up and said, just be you. Let everyone make their own decision. Like, literally just lay it out as transparent as you possibly can and let it roll and let it ride and see where you go. And that's where I ended up having success on deals. So I've just embraced that more and more. And that's kind of where I'm at. So it's a lot of fun. I think for people who talk to a lot of investors, like when I'm dealing with sellers who talk to multiple investors, sometimes I come across as a breath of fresh air because my approach is sort of different than what's taught. And
That's right.
You know, beginners are out there doing what they hear, and I have nothing against it because it's totally what I did. It's a starting point. But I guess just over time, I've just learned, like, it's just, you hear it from day one, but you have to learn it. It's a people business. It's not about the house. It's about the person. It's about what they're telling you. Listen to them. And that's what I like to do every day is listen and then offer my point of view and see where we can come together. And then when I get a check, I do a couple of hippie hops and I move on to the next one. Yeah.
And go find the next
Laura, you don't have one of them old tape recorders like back in, like, say 89, 92, on them old tape recorders when you got to take both index fingers and press them down at the same time? Because you just gave your entrepreneurial story.
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's
enough.
sweet.
Yeah.
And that's what entrepreneurs, they're risk takers, good risk takers. There's a bad risk and a good risk. You're an entrepreneur. And when me and Rich was shaking our head, we knew that story. That's why we kept shaking our head like, man, watching the house with my dad driving. I'm just looking at property. I don't know what it was, fascinating. Saying the name of the address every time. My dad, why you keep saying all the addresses? I don't know.
Because I want to buy it.
Looking at the houses, but I didn't know. You know, sometimes we're planting the seed. You don't even know it. So I saw Rich doing this. I said, man, he probably just got that same story and we just listening to you.
I've known Rich since day one. And, you know, Rich and I, we've done, you know, several deals together. You know, Rich, he knows, I've told him 100 times, like, he's helped me so much back in the day. And I mean, we still help each other now and all that, awesome. You know. Man, he started off much stronger than I did. But, you know, he's just that stand-up guy so one of the things I loved about, I approached Rich because I knew he did business in Illinois and I had the Illinois connection, although at the time I lived in Missouri. But, and then I kept working with Rich over time because of all the people I met, he was just more authentic than the average. Not putting anybody else down. I'm just saying he was just always so authentic and sincere. And I just had this super great feeling of trust working with him at a time when I didn't really trust people, which was only a reflection of my own inner issues. But that's where I was at the time, right? So anyway, I just have a lot of respect for Rich. And, you know, I appreciate him very much. And we have a good time. So
that's what's up.
Rich is the man. Don't no deals go down without Rich signing off on them. No.
My town.
That's awesome.
My state. No, I don't want to play my
He
state.
run Illinois. If you know anything over there, nah.
Not at all, man.
There was a
thanks,
time
man.
when I would get calls about deals in Illinois when I worked them a little bit less. And if it was anybody who ever talked to any other, I'd say, have you been talking to any other investors, blah, 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 blah. If they ever said yes, be like, have you talked to someone named Rich Groves? And sometimes it wasn't, and sometimes they would say yes. I'd be like, well, he's great. You should work with him. That's when I had like no confidence. I'd like, go work with Rich. I just throw stuff away. Now I'm like, I won't even ask. I just make my offer. Sorry, Rich.
No, that's all good. That's what you got to do. Hey,
That's right.
I taught you right. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's awesome. Though.
Yeah, but I remember at the time I'd be like, have you talked to Rich Groves? Because he's really good.
No.
That's cool.
I'll be honest with you, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've worked with everybody here, right? I mean, I don't think we haven't yet, but I think hopefully
we will
get some deals done. But
Yes.
I've worked in some capacity, whether we've gotten an actual deal done or we've worked toward one or whatever. And I'll tell you what, and several other people, whatever. One of the biggest excitements for me, and I can't speak for everybody, I'm sure for Chris and Laura, it's the same way. When you work with somebody who's new and you see them grow beyond even what you thought they'd do, it is so freaking awesome. I mean, I've known Chris for a long time now, maybe since right as he got started too, and seeing every time I see him and he comes to our meeting, I tell people, this is Chris Monroe. This guy is blowing it up. And it makes me so proud because I've known him from, it's like when you meet that person you knew when they were a little bitty and now they're a full-grown person or an upstanding person. You're like, wow, I knew you were little. Same way with Laura. It's so awesome to see these people succeed and be so amazing at something that they put their mind to and getting at it, not letting anything. I mean, everybody has to jump hurdles, right? Everybody has roadblocks from time to time, but there's a difference between somebody who comes up to that roadblock and says, oh, never mind, I'm going to go home, or they just plow right through it and keep going.
That's right. The growth and development. If you're not growing, you're dying. So keep growing, keep learning, keep adding tools to that tool belt. Don't get stuck in being a one-trick pony.
I don't take any credit for any of that, but it's just, like I said, it's a proud thing of knowing these people and working with these people and knowing that they're just not giving up and they destroyed it, and it's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I want to say that about you too, Nashira, here in a little bit. She's not showing herself. She's muting. She's chatted a few times.
She's up and coming though. I've been talking with her. Her head's in the right place.
I'm telling you, she's got a great work ethic, and she is really working hard, busting her tail.
And she's reaching out to people. You know what I mean? And she's saying, hey, here's what I'm looking for assistance with. And then you ask her questions, and she's already got a great start on stuff. And she's gonna do things. I have no doubt.
Yeah, Nashira's a hustler. She don't even know she made an offer on one of my houses. She don't even know it's me. I sent her the message. I said, this Chris. I guess she said, oh, nice to meet you, Chris. I'm like, whatever. I ain't even gonna go no deeper.
You say the Chris.
The Chris Monroe with the Chris Monroe show.
The Chris.
Because I wrote her back the email like, this is Chris. And she's like, oh, nice to meet you.
And she just kept going.
I'm like, okay.
Cool. She's awesome. And she keep going.
Gotta hustle though. You gotta make an offer,
Right.
Yeah.
Even you got who you got over there on your pages or your YouTube? You got anybody commenting on anything?
Yeah, we got Lamont Allen over here. He's a good guy. He bought a couple deals and stuff. He's a wheeler and shaker. Who else we got over here?
Good dude.
Who else we got in here? Dr. Branch is watching. He didn't join into the live. I actually put the link to join into the Zoom here in the description on Facebook.
Come on, Doc. Doc was on 2 weeks ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, Dr. Branch. That's the man.
That's right.
And let's see here. What's up? I got Charmaine watching on Periscope. Hey, how are you? So we're streaming live on Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So, yep, it's it looks like it's about 20 people watching. So, cool. Yep, if y'all have any questions about anything we're talking about, drop it in the comments. We'd be more than happy to try to help you out in your deal, or just come on in and ask a question right here. Pick these people brain. You can go pay a lot of money to talk to somebody, or you can come on here for free. Like people always try to come pick my brain and inbox me, Chris, work with this. You better catch me on the live stream. I'll help you right out and run your whole deal for you if you want me to. But you gotta be available. Show up and win. Wouldn't you all agree?
Yeah. Oh,
yes, you have to do it.
And that's, I mean, everybody's got their own story, right? I mean, whether you got a 9 to 5 and you do real estate part-time, or you do real estate full-time and you're just slammed, you got to take the opportunity when you have that chance to meet with somebody or talk with somebody, jump on it. Absolutely. And I'm not, not about me. I'm just saying I agree 100% with you, Chris, 100%.
I don't take no time picking somebody's brain. I'm like, wait a minute, you know more than me. How do you do that? How do you flip that around? How'd you make that happen? Only thing I can do is tell you.
Yeah,
you got to ask.
I got to say, guys, Sunday, I listened to the Joe Rogan Experience. He did an interview with Kevin Hart. He's done 2. It was his most recent one. It was fantastic. Of course, Kevin Hart is fantastic. If you don't know much about him, man, I mean, besides what he just does on the screen, he's just really cool. But man, he talked about so much, just getting information and the thirst for knowledge and talking to people who know more than you. It was super inspiring. So anyway, y'all should catch that one. I think I was very inspired by it. A very good one. All right.
Didn't they just pay Joe Rogan a bunch of money to get on a podcast or something?
Did it really?
I heard something about him and Stitcher making a big deal, but I don't know anything about it.
I think they said a couple $100 million or something ridiculous.
Who is Joe Rogan? Who's that?
Was he
He's a commentator for UFC, right?
Yeah,
but he was a comedian too and stuff.
Fighter, UFC
comedian.
He's a comedian, and then what he's most famous for, like these days, he's been doing this podcast for 11 years, and it's just absolutely the most. I think it's the most successful podcast at all. It has the most followers or whatever. He had Elon Musk on, for example. That's the one where Elon Musk smoked marijuana for like 2 puffs and the entire world lost.
Okay.
Anyway,
I know
and so anyway, check him out. I mean, you once you see him or hear him, you'll realize you saw him somewhere. Yeah, he's done a lot in his life. So.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make an announcement that I just found out too yesterday. The Chris Monroe Show is now on iTunes on the podcast as well. So every show we do every week, we'll be uploading it on there as well. I was like, wow, they approved it. I thought they were going to say no. So we're on Podcast, Stitcher, and all those podcast sites as well.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, because I got a lot of content. So I'm like, I got somebody repackaging it and posting it up, on those things. And so they approved it for Apple iTunes. So we'll see what happens.
Dang, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. I've been thinking for a while of doing a little podcast where I mount a windshield camera, like my phone up on the windshield as I'm driving to work, and just saying out loud what I'm already thinking as I'm driving to work, all real estate junk, just talking and just rapping, at it, just going, right? Just saying it. And maybe package that up, some kind of video cast or, whatever they call them.
Right.
Podcast,
You never know. I mean, this audio here. I mean, anytime we have an audio, you can take that MP3 and upload it. You got a podcast. The stuff we're saying right now,
right.
And all of this some good, valuable information. That's why I try to, ask questions and have something where we're actually talking about something, that could actually add value to people. Like I got a question for Al. I'm gonna go ask it again. I asked it earlier. You kind of dodged me a little bit. What are you doing to find some deals out in Vegas?
I don't think I dodged you. Actually, I told you what I'm actually here for is I'm preparing for the short sales. I've already had a couple of meetings with my cousin out here for Keller Williams. The court's getting open, and basically he, it's obvious he got the MLS, but mine is all off market. I got 2 investors, one out of Florida and one out of Chicago. So really, I'm just preparing to get ready and negotiate short sales when they come up. They're going to come up.
Oh, so you're working with somebody that's going to feed these deals straight to you already, and you just negotiate them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, myself, I'm going to, I have to do my homework as well. But the course is going to have a slew of them anyway. So I have to go ahead and with the software that I have, I've been looking, I didn't just not do nothing since I've been here. I've been on software, and I think it was Thursday. I had 3 came in on my email, just like that. And I'm still trying to figure out where they came from, but they were right here from Vegas. right here from
So what is
Vegas.
it, like a pre-foreclosure notice or a notice of an
Yeah.
auction coming up, or what is that you're getting?
It's pre-before. Some of them, like in Florida, it's called notice of list pendants, but sometimes they just say LP, which is list pendants. So it's basically you're in the pre-foreclosure stage. So for one, it's good. I go with off market. It's obvious if they're on MLS, it's not doing me any good. I go with all the properties, and not one do I deal with that's on the market. It's off market. That individual knows it's happening. They'll be in denial sometime. There's a script that I go through that I've learned because most of them in engagement are just gonna say yes, I'll work with you. They're gonna say no out of pride and just not in belief that they're gonna possibly lose their home.
It's time to get juicy now. I heard that word script. What's these magic words you saying to these people when you get them on the phone?
Well,
and not the whole thing, just to get them started.
Well, I could say, how you doing? This is Alan Hudson. I'm from Shea RE Investors Group, and looking at the court records and everything, I understand you're in the process of a possibility of notice of list pendants, or I can say a pre-foreclosure. I don't never like to use the word foreclosure. I'll say pre-foreclosure.
So you hit them right out the gate. You let them know right out the gate, I know you're on the list and you're going to have to talk to somebody.
Yeah, because then they know I'm not lying, or if they just say it's not me, then I know I don't push it. I say, okay, no problem. For my understanding, your name was on list. Maybe it was an error, and I apologize, and I won't call you again. And I just go to the next one. Because most of them, but literally, I know he's on the list or she's on the list because it's in the court records. It's filed. I didn't file it. She has a docket number. And then when I do when I go into the appraiser on the courts, they're going to tell me everything about that individual, how much is owed, how much that property. And yes, the auction date. Your auction date is June 25th. I know it is. So, but I don't say nothing like that. It's not something you would have to do. You just want to know, would they be willing to work with me to help them? And I'm telling them, hey, I'm going to help you out. This is what I'm going to do. You can walk away. You won't have to have no closing costs at the end. Everything you can walk away with your good credit intact, whereas you can regroup, go back to the drawing board, and down the line, go and buy you another piece of property or another home for yourself and your family. This is what it's all about. You are providing a service.
Yeah, so that's why I asked that, because a lot of people do that same type of thing a little different. We do it a little differently. Like, hey, yeah, we're trying to reach the owner of 123 Woke Street, and you're probably not the owner, are you? Yeah, I'm the owner. What's going on? Yeah, I just want to know if you were interested in selling your house. No, I don't want to sell it. So you got everything taken care of with the bank? That's when I'll bring it up if they're in denial like that. But sometimes they open up and say, yeah, I would like to sell it. Well, I mean, I'll take 210 for it or whatever number they throw out. So I don't never just hit them right out the gate like, yeah, I know you're on the auction block and we're going to get your house. What you want to do, buddy?
Well, I mean, for me and how I was taught, I don't know if it's too harsh, but it's realistic for anybody that's on here. Hey, it's inevitable. You know that you didn't, if you went into forbearance and you believe the government saying, hey, we're going to da-da-da-da, fine. If you know you got those mortgage payments and you chose to go in and draw down some other debts and wait out your mortgage, fine. But if that mortgage was not a government-backed mortgage, a lot of those people are going to really be helped and it's going to get extended. But Bank of America now, they want their money now. When it's time to give up that, they're not going to work with you. Majority of them are going to say, hey, we need it all now.
It's our money and we want it now.
Yeah. And now how can you gotta, and this is another thing. You have people that have a property for themselves and their family, and then they have that second property or that, what I call the Airbnb property. Airbnb is getting hit.
Yeah, because they bought houses going off Airbnb income versus rental income like a crazy person.
Yes, sir.
Rich, do you do something similar like that when you call or talk to people? Do you come out and let them know, yeah, I know you're on the list. Give me your house. What do you do?
Well, I don't say on the list.
I mean, it might as well. I'm just getting straight to the point. You're on the list. Give me the damn house.
Yeah. I don't focus on pre-foreclosures as much. I'm more of a focusing on near probates, if not probates. But that's been my bread and butter for the most part. And I just, and a lot of times, some of the campaigns that are hot right now, like text messaging campaigns, don't necessarily work for me. I mean, they do somewhat, but not a ton, because you're texting an 80, 85-year-old person. Probably, I mean, your percentages, just think of the percentages, right? Analyze that. You could test it, see if it works, but probably not. But whenever I call, I mean, I'm usually calling assertively, saying, I've skip traced the number. I know this is Mr. Smith that owns, 123 any street. So I will call. I mean, the first things out of your mouth should never be, "Hi, is this Mr. Smith?" Or if it's a woman, "Is this Mrs. Smith?" You never ask if it is. You assume it is.
Right. Hey, Mrs. Smith, how you doing?
Exactly. Right. So that's the big key, because then if they're not, they'll correct you. They'll correct you. It's okay. One mistake you don't want to make is, a lady answers and you say, "Hey, Mr. Smith," or obviously you're Mrs. Smith or whatever, but they'll let you know. The only time Nashira could probably even chime in if she wanted to. She's been calling some numbers. We've been working on together on some stuff, and they'll let you know if they're not the right person. Matter of fact, I think she was giving me some feedback that she called one person asking for, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, whatever. And I don't know how upset the person was. And the Shire was the one who made the notes. It said, the lady said, "Well, Johnny, I don't know who it is. Johnny's been dead for a while now. So if you're calling asking for Johnny, I don't want to talk to you. I'm his wife, and he's been dead." So,
and now you see why the script or the words that I said. I'm looking for the owner of 123 Woke Street. I didn't say nobody name.
That's true.
That's why we changed the script on those particular type of lists.
Yep. Okay. That's a good point.
Versus, because we've had that happen before too, where they say, they've been dead for 3 years. Why you calling about him? You brought him back up, and I'm sad and mad at you. You don't want to be on their bad side.
Yeah.
I jotted that down. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. If you don't mind, I'm going to steal that from you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we're here for. That's why we do the virtual Millers. I know somebody in here watching on this now, watching the replay, going to steal it too. But I want them to use it and be good at it. I want them to say, I want them to come back and say, "Chris, I used what you said, and that thing got me 2 deals, man."
That's right. And that's the key, man. That's the key.
I like results. Okay. What do you do, Laura? I know she probably just popped back in. What do you do when you call them? Do you go in and let them know that, I know you're on the list. Give me your house, and we're going to work out a deal? Or what do you say to them?
Man, a year from now, they're going to be like, "Hey, ain't you that guy Chris I was talking about on the list?"
Wait, what kind of list? The person that
what is she talking about? Oh, that's inside.
The hot list.
Wait, what list?
They're going to be looking for the list.
Chris, I go your route. I go with that. "Hi, my name's Laura Lennington," and I even will throw this in where I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm not even sure if I have the right number right now, but I'm actually looking for the owners of 123 Woke Street. Would I happen to be talking to someone that can speak with me about that property?" And I, hear what they say on it or whatever.
Exactly.
Now, when I know something's like has back taxes or something like that, I don't generally bring that up until we've gotten down the road in some conversation. And then I might slip it in again, very much with a question like, "Hey, I was looking at the tax record. I look at all the different tax records before I call. And I noticed this one might be behind. I mean, am I seeing that correctly?" So, I kind of speak with them that way. But you can find out real fast, especially the more calls you make, the more experience you get, if this person's willing to work with you or anybody, right? And it still might not be obvious, but you learn over time, even the less obvious stuff, right? But I love calling and texting. It's amazing these days how preferential people are to both. Both are super valid. There are people who will not get on a phone call to save their life, and they want to text, and there are people who will not answer your cold text to save their life. Do both if you're trying to get a hold of somebody.
And there's people that only like emailing. There's people I've been finding like email now for some reason.
Oh, okay. I've never had email success in the past, but maybe I'm always open. Look, if you're not changing, then you're not sticking with things. But I love it when they ask me how I got their number, because I just tell them whatever the truth is. They get it so quick and so direct that we just cut that part of the conversation out. I mean, they can still, and I mean, the thing is, it's probably True People Search or, whatever. Maybe I skip trace, but I just say, look, there are these businesses on the internet that will give me phone numbers that might or might not be associated with an address that I find. I'll say I get in my car and I drive in neighborhoods that I want to buy property in, and I write down addresses of houses that I think might be vacant. So I don't tell them your house looks like crap, but I just say, hey, look, there's something about it. And I'll say I write down so many addresses I probably can't remember, but there was something about your house that made me think it might be vacant or it might be for sale. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And then I shut up.
Exactly.
And I do what they say. So that's kind of the way I handle cold calls and stuff like that.
Because they always say, how'd you get my phone number? I let them know, everything's on the internet now. You know that. Ha ha. And keep it moving.
Yeah. Everything at the phone company.
Everything's on the internet and keep it moving. And say, so are you interested in selling?
That's crazy. Hey, we got Doc Branch on. Doc Branch is in the house.
The Doc.
Come on, Doc.
He looks like he's working. Look at that. It looks like he's studying or working. What are you doing over there, Doc?
He say, you're muted. No ATO.
What are you working on there, buddy?
And do you do something different than that, Alan? If they ask you, how did you find my phone number? What do you say to them?
Well, with all honesty, I let them know that it's in the court records because, yes, they are aware. See, that doesn't really hurt me in any way because I didn't go around and sneak on anything. Court records is public records. That's public information. So I do let them know that I'm investing and are you interested in wanting to sell your property? If not, or down the line, would you be willing to look into me first before you before you venture out? Normally, honestly, they've already received the letter and everything before I get logged in and everything. So after they kind of simmer down off of realizing that this is real, even though they were told over the phone, once they get that document, then they know it's in motion. When you get it, you get a court date. Once they file, you get a court date to set your auction for your home.
How much time do they normally give you from the time you get the notice to the actual auction date?
Shucks. It can be nearly 30 days.
No,
it can be nearly in a 30-day period because when they don't usually put like if it's February, April, they don't do that. It comes around 30, 45 days or however every city is different, every state. So like I said, everything that I was focusing on was in Florida, and Florida don't play. June the 24th, matter of fact, because my partner down there, in the state of Florida, the courts has been closed due to all of this. Yeah. Well, he just got an update. The courts are opening up on June the 24th. So when you hear it, you heard it from here. It ain't about hearing from me first, but wait until you hear what kicks off in the state of Florida on June 24th, when all of those properties get hit for the foreclosures. Man, it's gonna be crazy.
So when I think of Florida, I think of one of these states that got problems with people calling us on the do not call list. Have you run into those type of issues there?
No. You mean like at a certain time?
Well, the state of Florida has its own do not call list along with the national do not call list. So I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ran into problems like where they came up on the do not call list, but they're in foreclosure, or how do you deal with that?
No, actually, I got some softwares. Basically, I'm being honest. When I call, and I also got a realtor down in Pompano Beach, Orlando, and Miami area. So I have a realtor. She gave me nearly 2,000, a list of 2,000 all pre-foreclosures.
Wow.
Right there, so she said, hey, Alan, I've got a lot going on. You want to start working these down? Let me know. I'm already in, good standings with it because it's obvious if it comes through, she's listing it. So she's going to, she know I'm not going to go around her back or anything. We just have a great rapport. And because you need a listing agent. Why not? If you like my cousin out here, cuz I'll list them all day. Keep them coming. And I said, okay, but I need you also to, give me the heads up, and I know that wasn't him for the 3 that I came through, but realtors help a lot. Some people drive for dollars. I've never done it. Never had to. I'm telling you, I sat right there on the island of St. Croix and pull up those foreclosures off that software. Then it'll tell me everything, and it actually gives me the auction date. And then now, because that auction date there doesn't mean nothing, that's when you pick up the phone. Hey, how you doing? My name is Alan Hudson. I need to check on this property. Okay, give me the parcel number, sir. 39467. Okay, that'd be Joanne and Michael Tolbert property. As she's saying it, I'm looking at it right here on the screen, and I'm scrolling with my wireless mouse, just checking. She keeps going. Okay, taxes on 2019. Hey, okay, done. Now I know that house is a go or not a go.
I see that you and Laura would like to say y'all first and last name. I'm scared to do that. I just be like, this Chris. I don't be want to say my name, and they be like, oh, you the mug. I'm finna send this bill to you. You keep calling me some old junk. I don't want nobody mad at me about nothing.
No problem. I heard Laura. I'm 6'3" Bravo, Laura. Army. So it was kind of something when I heard her talking, and now it kind of connected to earlier today how she moves. So there it is. I mean, it's no problem. You're a businessman.
But every unit need a supply sergeant. That's what I was, supply sergeant. Who?
Oh, okay. What it is? Why you didn't say that, man?
You say, well, Laura?
I was a supply sergeant too, 92 Yankees.
There you go.
Well, you guys, that's what's up. But y'all know nothing moves without that motor pool sergeant. What? Come on. You need those vehicles, baby.
Yeah, I made sergeant in 2.5 years. I was fast tracking kind of quick. 2 years and 5 months.
Okay.
Well, I did too. Star MOS, 2.5 years. People were mad.
All right, cool. I was in Stuttgart. Any of y'all go overseas? I was in Germany.
Yeah, I was in Iraq.
Wait.
Iraq.
Okay. There it is. That's awesome.
Combat, a highly decorated combat veteran. Yeah, that's right.
Man. But it's no problem. Professional wise, I just say Alan. I usually start talking, but if I talk, I say Alan Hudson, and I leave a message. How you doing? My name is Alan Hudson. I'm calling the reference at your convenience. Would you be willing to call me or contact me? And I leave my number.
Because I actually have received mail from somebody, sent us a letter and said, y'all been calling me, and they try to threaten something, but I didn't acknowledge it or anything. Basically, because one of my virtual assistants got on the phone somehow, mentioned our company name somehow, and they looked it up somehow, and they sent some mail. So, it can happen. That's why I just be like, General, this is Chris, especially if I know I'm outbound calling somebody. You can get my name, but after we've talked a little bit, but not just right out the gate. What's your company name? Right out the gate. What's your first and last name? Nah, I don't want to do it too easy. I want to make it easy to hunt me down. I mean, it just,
Well, I never use my business name. My company name, when I literally just say, this is Alan Hudson, da-da-da. Now, if I get into conversation with them, if they actually call, then I give them a heads up, investment, da-da-da. I go a little more. I want them to feel comfortable. You don't want them to feel like you're just trying to hurry up and grab their property. I don't care nothing about the feelings how you brought your kids up in the house. You want to talk to them that way when you're talking to them. And with all of us, and I don't like to use the word gift to gab, but all of us, and me too as a sergeant, and how to figure, the character, the personality of your soldiers. You just can. One of the things I like, what Laura said, listening, just listening, and they'll give you the whole story, and then that's when you go right in, like how that what they call those troughs when the horse and they can't look at you, just tunnel vision. You hear everything, and then you just go right there with them. Next thing you know, I had a person no more than a little over a month ago. Husband and wife team, they divorced. Got a hold to the husband, couldn't get a hold to the ex-wife. He was on board, she wasn't. So
and that can happen. You got to close all decision makers. Got to close all decision makers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I couldn't do nothing with that short sale because she didn't want to come on board just out of despite.
And it happens.
Just out of despite. And you just said, keep going. And he was a little upset. It's obvious because she's willing to mess her credit up than to just let that house go.
He better do a lease then. He better do something. Sandwich lease option. That's why.
I haven't heard back, but you just keep moving. But the whole thing is, like you said, it's already on the list. It's from the courts. It's not a whole lot I have to say because they're either going to be in or they're going to be out. People do call back within the next day or two sometimes, because they just want to settle in and realize that somebody actually called about them because people are attached. So honestly, they just don't want to believe they got to let this property go. They didn't raise 3 kids, got rid of the 2 husbands, held ground, had pool parties, the littlest things. It's sentimental, and
Yeah, it can
even
be.
though it's property, they take it to another level, and I don't like to see it happen, and I definitely don't wish that on anyone. But we are investors, and something similar to how Shantae was talking about. Nothing against her because she's not here, but at the end of the day, we're investors. This is our livelihood. So what I'm for after a while, after I have empathy and sympathy, okay, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about that. Then I get a call. I said, you know what? Chris Monroe called you. Like, what the?
And he got the deal. You're gonna be like, how you sign him up?
There it is. That's my point.
Because I don't even go in positioning myself as an investor. I go in positioning myself as a trusted advisor. I'm here to help you whether you sell me the house or not. I don't care. It's just you do have options, especially if I'm talking to a pre-foreclosure. I let them know, don't let the bank just take your house and give you nothing. Right. You do have rights. And they're like, oh, I do? Right. Oh, yeah, and now I got their ears perked up. Now they want to talk. So you got to give them something to sell, give them something to sniff and smell and say, oh, wow, sound like you know what you're doing. You've been around the block. Yeah, man, you're here with a heavy hitter. I'm here to help you. So, I ain't trying to beat you up and take your house for $2.
Right.
But I will.
Right.
No.
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you about lease option real fast. Have you done any of those, what Joe McCall's calling simple lease options, where you just help the seller find a tenant buyer and you take the wholesale fee and you kind of step away, or do you just exclusively try to do the sandwich lease options, or what do you do?
Yeah. So I do have 2 of those right now, and I actually stay in the deal. I mean, if the payment is $600 and they're giving me $900, I'm staying in the deal to get that $300 a month cash flow. I see no reason to just let $300 a month of passive cash flow go away to no man's land. So I usually try to stay in the deal. Now, if there is no cash flow, I don't have a problem just, doing that. But generally, if I can create some kind of number that, I can get a spread of 250 or more, I'm staying in the deal. I don't see, because that's where the money's at to me. Because, the cash flow over time. You can't get rich no other way that I know of. Rich.
I wanted,
that's his name.
I wanted to ask you guys something. I heard Shantae say that the inventory in St. Louis was minimal. Is that so? That market is that hot that they don't even have they don't have a lot of inventory.
She probably talking about for rentals. Rentals. I've been getting hit up so much from everybody. Got any rentals? You know anybody with a rental? I'm like, dang.
Oh, I thought she just Now
I don't know about the sales side of retail. You guys know anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that. That's like the second time I've heard that very recently. That inventory I thought was around a month. I didn't know it was under a month.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing it for a couple months how low the inventory is. I don't go verify numbers and stuff, but I hear it all the time from realtors. Yeah.
I know we got enough expired listings that we keep hitting, and these people, dreaming on the price. Like you're asking $20K over the Zestimate. You ain't getting that.
That's crazy, man. I don't understand how they.
That's why the inventory is so low.
Exactly.
The inventory is so low is everybody wants too much for their house.
That's unbelievable,
right.
though.
Hey, we got this Nick Johnson. Nick, I see you're muted out there. I know you've texted a couple times. Are you able to join us with your audio? And I see John's out there working away. Dr. Branch. Yeah, but I can't hear you, Doc. I can't hear you. You can hear me? Oh, now there you go.
There he is. Somebody call a doctor.
Yeah, I told you I'm on here, man.
You were just mouthing earlier. You're miming, making us think we couldn't hear you.
You look like you're in a pathologist, like you studying, man. You cutting up something down there.
Oh.
How's it going, Doc?
Yeah, pretty good. Watching you guys. How's everything over there? You guys are in Illinois or Detroit?
St. Louis area for most of us, but Alan, you can tell. I won't talk for you, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I'm in Las Vegas right now.
He out there about to go throw them dice.
Hey, my mama needs some shoes. My baby needs some clothes.
I'm coming out to Vegas this year. And matter of fact, anybody watching this stream, I'm going to be down in the Memphis area this weekend. If anybody want to connect, hit me up. I'll be down in the Memphis, Tennessee area.
What you head down there for?
My grandmother passed away. I'm going down for a funeral.
Oh man, Chris, I'm so sorry, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Since brothers, a lot going on.
So I'll be down south for this weekend.
Memphis is a good town. Eat some barbecue for me.
You know it.
They got some blood. They got
Oh,
some
we
Q
can have
down
some
there.
in St. Louis. It's funny as heck, man. I got a little side story as a gal I work with at my W-2. You know, we have a nationwide team, and they come in to St. Louis every once in a while for a just a get together or whatever. And she's all like, oh, and she's from St. Louis, but she was living in Chicago. She comes in, she's like, oh man, we got to go to this barbecue spot in St. Louis for some St. Louis barbecue. And she recommended, holy crap, I'm forgetting which one it was. Anyway, long story short, is right there the underneath the name of the company, it says Memphis style barbecue. She was all about, hey, let's go get some St. Louis. I'm going to show you this awesome St. Louis barbecue. It's Memphis style barbecue.
Memphis style barbecue.
I don't remember.
I thought it was Kansas City style and all these other places. I guess Memphis do got a style too. So everybody got a style.
Right.
Memphis barbecue.
Midwest style. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So cool. So is low inventory, that's a problem. How do we solve that problem of low or no inventory?
You mean right there within your city of St. Louis?
Just in general, if that's a problem in the marketplace, how do we solve that problem?
You go into a new market.
It's not a problem in the marketplace. I think it's a good thing.
I mean, if I'm focusing on one particular city and things don't look good, you start doing your research. You don't just, you do your little research and see what's going on. Like I didn't know that Indianapolis was doing what it was doing till my cousin reached out to me from San Diego because she flipped a property from San Diego in Indianapolis. I had no idea. And I was like, huh. She said, yeah, but she didn't know wholesaling that well. So she kind of really lost out. The one property that she actually ended up getting, that individual had 5 more. So he did an assignment agreement. She got all of them. But the problem was she didn't reach out. I didn't know she was doing it. Unfortunately, no one really helped her. And she gave a little too much information and everything. And from my understanding, when the negotiations started coming in on the properties, and the contractors and things like that, everything just went bad. She ended up wholesaling, JVing the properties to other investors and everything when she had direct to seller. But she lived and learned. She got a little bit, but like I said, it was a good thing that particular owner gave her all those properties. I just wish she'd have reached out to whoever she was dealing with on those real estate groups and stuff. And she tried to go in solo and, live and learn.
You live and you learn. And that's a question I have for the panel here. Let me see. Let me find it on my thing here. What is something you could say you did or mistakes you've made that you've learned from in the last 2 years?
Man, I can tell you this. This is something that really is kind of funny to this day now. So I was doing a deal. I wasn't a direct seller. Got hold to a property right there in Chicago, right there in Hyde Park. Turn around, the gentleman who was direct seller, he had it under contract out of Atlanta. Linked up with him, and before I knew about the Chicago property, I was actually working on another property for him in a different state. That didn't look good. He said, well, I got other properties, And as we talked, and then I spoke of Chicago. He said, I got property in Chicago right now. I said, where? As soon as he said it, I said, I know exactly where it is, 51st Street, just like you guys know wherever. I knew that was Hyde Park. I knew that was a hot market. Long story short, I told him, okay, I'll JV with you, He wanted me to do it on the front end, and I said, nope, don't want to do that. What you want to do now? He didn't think I know. Sometimes people they're gonna test you. If you don't know, you just don't know. It's a code ethic for me. I'm not gonna do it to you, but some people just don't know, and they're gonna get taken advantage of. And so what I did is told him, I said, okay, once you send that JV over and we sign it, then I'll move forward. once he did that, he did it quick. So I have software. I put it in. It was a Friday. I put it in the software and literally got a buyer on didn't even know sometime Tuesday. Hey Alan, I understand you. Like, huh? And then I got on the phone, the buyer or the investor, he was right there out of Chicago. So good connection. It's kind of cool when you talking to someone that know everything from where you are. You know, it just breaks the ice really well. Overall, we told him about the property. He saw it. We talked more. And then it's obvious I actually negotiated the wholesale deal right there. But at the end, I still had to get the gentleman that, director sale, had to get on the phone with him the next day. So we scheduled it. The next day we talked. I called him earlier to let him know what was going on. He said, okay, man, that fast? I said, yeah, I told you I was going to get you a buyer. So honestly, and so now he's, all right, Al, that sounds good, man. I got 3 more. I said, okay, let's worry about this one right now. No problem. I wasn't being boastful. I was just saying, let's focus and concentrate on letting this handle. Anyway, he said, okay, I'm just letting you know. Now you're going to see how I do it. And okay, he's, talking. I said, okay, we get on there. I kid you not. He talked that deal right out from under us.
What was he? Wait a minute. So what was he even doing talking to anybody? He shouldn't even been talking. He need to been turning in paper to the title company or attorney there and getting the deal done. He shouldn't have been talking to anybody.
I'm not the director of sales, so I'm JVing. So I couldn't. I mean, if it was me, that deal would have been done. But I had to get him on the phone with the buyer, because I'm the middleman.
Not necessarily. We just need to know how soon you can close, how much you putting for earnest money, and where title company you closing at. I don't need to talk to nobody. But I'm gonna let you finish your story. I hear where the problem went wrong right there.
Here it is. Remember you said, so I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you live.
So this raw.
On the ground. He ended up talking to the gentleman, and because he needed a little more information that I didn't have about the property. And once he told him all of that, the gentleman said, okay, so I talked to Alan and, I'm okay with the 5K earnest. He said, 5K was, that's a problem. No, we can do 2K. I'm like, what? I just put 5K on the table for us last night. He dropped it to 2. Hey, here we go. So I'm sitting there I'm like, no way. My partner said, man, I'd have just hit the button and hung us all up. I said, I couldn't do it. But he said, my partner in Chicago, Blue, he said, cuz I'd have just hit the button like it was an accident. And then we went a little further. I'm telling you guys, he went a little further. We had negotiated the price. After we did our numbers and ARV and everything, he dropped that. So now that buyer or investor knew me and him wasn't in sync. He knew we weren't on the same page. And little by, how you can just feel it and it's in your stomach, like, please don't withdraw. And it started. And I said, my stomach started. I said, here it go. He said, okay, well, you know what? We're going to send all the paperwork over to you. And I'm on the phone like, he ain't going to sign nothing. You just hit it. I knew it, but I let him talk. And then he said, just what got me. He said, hey, well, can I get your number? I said, what the hell? So he now, right here on the phone, trying to interact with the buyer. If the buyer give him all the information, you don't need me. But the good thing is when you write with people, and me and him had that good, strong connection and talking that night, that investor said, no. Alan got all my information. And he did it again. And he said, Alan got, I said, Mike, I got him. I end up, so now I'm seeing what he was doing. I mean, literally, he was putting me out of the deal. And he put us both out the deal.
So what do you feel like you could have did differently to make sure that didn't happen again or won't happen again?
That one thing that I didn't know that you said, I never needed to get him on the phone.
Never.
I didn't realize I didn't because I felt there was other things I didn't have. Because see, he wouldn't give me something like, I didn't know, I had already told him we can go with Chicago title. Because he asked, do we need to go? And I'd rather go Chicago title because Atlanta is lawyer, they do everything through lawyers. They close with lawyers. So Chicago title would have been perfect. But there was information that I just didn't have With him being direct to seller,
Mm.
I guess I thought I needed him at that time, and I didn't realize I didn't.
Yeah, I just gather the
Chris, I really
facts,
didn't.
get my earnest money deposit, and sign off right here, and we ready to go. I don't want to have no extra interaction between people. That's crazy. What do you think about that
So-
story, Rich?
Man, so that's my story, man. I'm serious, and
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, you. I don't know the guy that you're working with, the person you're working with, but that's. It reminds me of. Well, I used to be a sales trainer, and you got salespeople that don't believe in the system. They don't believe in the steps of the sale, and they think they're gonna. They think somebody's gonna object to a price before they hear a person's objections. Period. So a person might be okay with the price. You're like, oh, wait, let me see if I can talk to my manager and get that half price for you. They never mentioned that. That's so. I mean, maybe they just didn't have confidence in the sales process. Maybe they didn't have confidence in the product, in the house, and in the value that you guys worked hard to determine. So that's unfortunate.
Wow.
Which when I told him everything, he was supposed to come on online. Hey, how you doing? So Alan already told me you guys worked everything out. Okay, so let's go ahead and send this over. All he had to do is just come on board and say da 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 da. Okay, good deal. We're still gonna do this. Where you want me to send this to you? Email this. But I honestly thought he was gonna do that.
No, I will never connect people like that.
He started that route. He went into countering his own deal, and I didn't get it. I had him at 5K that night. In less than 4 hours, you didn't sell 5K. You said 2.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? If me and you get 2,500 and now you're going to give us 1,000, it didn't make sense. But like I said, from that point on, I'm being honest. I don't like JVing with anyone. If I'm not direct to seller, I don't want to deal. I don't want to do the deal.
I get your point. I do. There are times, especially if it's a new relationship, there are times when obviously you want that control, not necessarily because you're a control freak, because you can control the narrative, right? You can control where things go. You can control the narrative with the seller.
I feel comfortable enough that I can communicate in a way, and if I lose that deal, I would feel better because I'd be more critical to myself and find out what my flaw was. But I know that I will listen the right way and gather the right information. And in my best due diligence of everything I did, I will believe in me that I will close that deal.
Right.
And I actually did it. He's the first buyer and he was ready for it. I actually negotiated everything and we got off the phone with, we're just gonna call tomorrow because I got to bring this guy out. And I just realized I didn't ever have to. I do know JVing is okay.
Yeah.
When that person know what they're doing, and everything flows.
Yeah, I just quarterback deals. I don't even try to put no extra stuff, connections between people. I just make the deal happen. Because if you try to do that, they'll mess your deal all the way up. You got something like that you've done before, Rich? You got some mistakes you've made that you've learned from?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mine. I might write a whole book on them. No, the last 2 years especially have been, real estate university for sure. Like getting my master's in real estate university. But as a buy and holder, I've got a few rental properties. Nothing crazy, but I mentioned in an earlier call that and I'll mention it again, is that you're going to pay for something. You either pay for something in time or you pay for something in money. You either pay, let's say you pay a contractor to do a project and it's X dollars, or you're going to pay X dollars more in time to do it yourself. So I do believe in that. The rental properties that I bought, the first ones, a lot of them I wanted to do things myself for getting experience and knowledge and things like that. But there are a lot of mistakes, wrong turns are made along the way, especially thinking, I could, I think there's something to be said in hiring people who may be down on their luck and maybe need help, maybe need a break. I'm okay with that. I believe in that. But you got to play out your research on people a little more than just trusting their word that they're just down on their luck. Sometimes there's reasons people are down on their luck. So, rather than, one property specifically, in particularly, I, just went against everything my gut was telling me, and I got burned, and it hurt. I didn't lose a property or anything like that. It just put me way behind, and now I've got this mortgage I'm paying on a property that's a rental that's not bringing anything in because of all these, not trusting my gut that I was doing. That was past 2 years for sure. So
not trusting yourself. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when me and you talked, remember I said this morning, I knew I was hungry. I've been up since 2, and then I went to the door and I came back. I said, man, because it started spinning with that Zoom. I'm like, I got 20 minutes. I think I had 10 minutes, and you popped up. I was like, I don't know this guy. So I grabbed the headset. You said, hey, Al, just the way you said it, I thought you knew me. And went out that door, I wouldn't be on this second call. I would not have met all you guys. The law of attraction was there. And if I didn't go with the spirit, because that's what the gut feeling really is, I wouldn't have made this connection. This is a game changer for me, all the way across the board. I know it. I told you I've been in a lot of Zoom calls. This one, I keep saying, although I know it's real, it feels real, if you understand what I mean.
That's
true. Why I told you I was coming back on, and I'm hungry right now, Rich, and I'm still sitting here.
Yeah,
because your network is your net worth. You got to be around the right people. If you ain't around the right people, you're already losing. Wonder, why am I losing? Look at your friends. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
Yep. Great. There it is.
Isn't that law of attraction that says like your 5 closest friends you start to emulate? So if you're you're not going the right direction, look at the 5 closest people to you and change them up.
That's right.
I mean, sometimes you gotta make that hard choice.
Hang around 4 bums and you'll be the 5th.
That's right.
All right, Laura, your turn. What mistakes have you made that you've learned from?
Stand up, man. You so dumb, boy. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I keep it entertaining, man. I don't do nothing boring.
That's what's up.
Let's pass the mic to Laura. What mistakes have you made that you have learned from, Laura?
Well, I mean, I've been thinking about it. It's like there's just so many ways to answer that question. But what we were just talking about just now, that has been my real game changer, is paying attention to how I feel. And it doesn't sound businessy, and it doesn't sound like it would matter. And it's made every bit of difference. So if something doesn't feel right, I decided that no amount of money is worth it. If something is harder, but it feels good, but it feels like it shouldn't be so hard, but it feels good, I go with it and I see what opportunities come from it. And I've just been following this pattern of being happy first. And it's not like I'm happy every second of every day or every day of every week or anything, but making that my priority and my focus. And then what will happen is things have really come around where it's been the right fit, whether it's a JV partner or whether it's a particular buyer or seller. And so, I just steer myself, right, toward what feels good and what settles right with me inside. So before that, and that's been mostly the past year. So before that, I think I was pushing things that didn't feel right because it just seemed like it was supposed to work, right? It just seems like this person is supposed to work well with me, and it seems like this person is going to do their job. But when it's not happening, it's not happening. You can only ignore that for so long. So, and the other thing is too, I really started, I was a big finger pointer before. Maybe that's part of my military. Maybe it's just, my personality. But I stopped doing this and I started doing this all the time. Every time I could remember to, right? So sorry about the sun, but I stopped pointing the finger outward and I always pointed it inward. So when I had someone to blame about something, I asked myself, what could I have done better? And so a lot of times it's communication. A lot of times it's not taking enough action or whatever. If you're dependent on one deal going through, you don't have enough deals. That's something I had to keep telling myself. If I need these 1 or 2 deals or else, well, I just need to have 5 going. You know what I mean? So if these 1 or 2 don't work out, I've got that last 3. So it's mindset. It's all mindset. Everything in life is mindset. And my mistake, which I won't call it a mistake because it's my path, right? I won't call it a mistake. But what I'm doing differently now is making sure that my mindset is in the right place first, and then I do business. And sometimes I have to chill the hell out and not work for a couple hours because my mind ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get back to it, and then I have a lot of fun. So that's kind of what I've changed over the years, and couldn't be happier. Haven't been happier yet. 2020 is going to be my best year of my life. I knew that from day one. And coronavirus.
Say it again.
God help us all. Protest. I'm sorry. It will be my best year, and 2021 will be even better. I just know it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because I'm not going to settle for anything else.
Speak it into existence.
And in the meantime,
That's right.
I'm going to help.
That's right.
I'm going to help people all along the way. I'm going to JV with people and make money with them. I'm going to help
Right.
sellers get rid of crappy property. I'm going to help other investors find good deals. I'm going to dig down on deals that don't look like deals because other people don't, and we're going to figure out a creative solution. And it's just that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. So
That's awesome. Yeah, it is.
Move on. I'm ready to do multifamily. I'm ready to do another big rehab, bigger rehab than I did the first time. So I just know it's all lining up. I'm just.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yes. Looking. So I'm not forcing, but I'm not ignoring. I'm ready for it to come. Yeah.
That's right. 2020. We don't care about the Rona. We don't care about the drama. We don't care about your mama. We gonna make it happen now. And I know that's what you got to do, and that's like you just said, Laura, when things happen, I look at it. What could I have done better? It's always my fault, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's always my fault. What can I do to make it better? I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm not blaming somebody. Oh, that seller didn't do what they said. I didn't follow up, or I didn't do whatever I was supposed to do. It's always me. What could I have done better? I never want to point the finger to somebody else. So let's see. We got Dr. John Branch down here on the bottom with the pen and paper in hand. I know he got something good for us. Tell us something that, a mistake you made, that you've learned from.
Wait, you're just taking notes. That's all notes from this meeting, right? You're just taking notes.
Got to, man. Time is money. Time is money.
Taking copious notes.
I want you to, Chris, can you look something up for me?
I got you. What you need?
All right. 17 Harvey Street. So what's been going on down here is that there's the big university called Rutgers. And Rutgers is pretty huge in New Brunswick, New Jersey here. But because of the coronavirus, no one's going to be in college. So all those kids that have had, places to stay around the campus.
That's New Brunswick, New Jersey? Is that what that is? Is that it?
Yeah, so it's basically it's
okay.
17.
I just want to make sure I got the right place. What about this boarded up house right here? I got it on the screen. I don't know, y'all probably can't see it, but what's going on with it?
Well, that's what I had passed by it today, and I was like, oh, I want to check this out. So I had basically pulled this up right now, and I was zooming into it. It actually is boarded up right now. Is that the right? Is it 17? Is that the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just spinning around looking at the other places on here. We got some nice houses across the street. Well, they all got window units, air conditioners. No central air on that street. Must be some old stuff. So yeah, I see it here. It's this boarded up house right here. Look like the smallest house on the block.
Yeah, I had passed by it today, and I was trying to figure out how I can go ahead and start making the move. Now there's a padlock. It looks like there's a padlock on the door, so I don't know if a realtor put that there.
Yeah, there's a lockbox on the door, stacked up mail, all the signs of a distressed home owner. Have you tried to reach out to him or something, or?
No, I just got this. I just got this today. I wanted to go ahead because I saw the pop-up with you tonight, so I was gonna go ahead and let you look this up with me, which is pretty good.
You're gonna have to get their phone number. Gonna get their contact information. Look them up on wokeskiptracing.com. Look up the phone number and email address. Try to reach out to them.
Is it like a good property for like?
Well, we can't just look off of it. It's about the situation of that seller. First of all, do they even want to sell? First of all, we gotta find them, find the owner, whoever that may be.
They're gonna sell. Everybody's selling in this economy.
Well, we don't know that. I go into every deal. I know nothing. I just know to ask good questions. I never go into a deal knowing they gonna do this because I don't know what they're gonna do. They might not want to sell. Some people say you're gonna have to drag my body out this house before they sell it to anybody. I've had people say that on the phone.
Right.
I'll die in this house. Like, damn, we'll keep the little raggedy house. That's what I be thinking, but
Are there code violations? Do you know?
Let me look and see what I can find out here.
No, yeah, I was just curious. I mean, because that, John, yeah, I mean, if they're keeping it up and they don't have code violations, maybe they are just going to hold on to it. But you're right. I mean, you got to go after them, man. You got to try.
But wouldn't it cost them more to hold on to a property like that in this economy when a lot of people are like 22 million people lost their jobs right now?
Right.
Like a lot of people lost them.
But we don't
think. But hey, what you got to remember is it's not about logic. A lot of times it's about emotion, right?
Exactly.
So you're going to sit there from the logical investor standpoint and say those things, which may all seem true, but to them, it doesn't. All that matters is what they think.
Right. All that matters is what they think. What we think is nothing. We're just people that's here looking at the, house.
Do they own it free and clear? If so, then it's no big deal for them. They just pay the taxes, right? I mean, pay some upkeep, wait till the next school year, and then get people in there. I don't know. I'm asking. There's some, there's obviously, John, like everybody said, there's different angles. People are going to have their.
So this person, first of all, is owned by an LLC. So I don't know if that, and they actually out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, wherever that's at. They bought it for cash back in 2019, last year, in December for $160,000. So this could be an investor that bought it who just haven't started fixing up on it. They only owned it for 5 months. They had it. Let's see here. They bought it straight off the MLS. It looked like after one day. So I mean, just like everything we just got through saying about. Oh, matter of fact, let me see something here. Oh, this is what it looked like before. Before it was all boarded up. So I don't know if you can see my screen or not. If
I can't. You can share it. I did make sure I let you. Let you share.
Hold on. Let me do that. Let me switch something.
Should be anyway.
Let me see if I can do this without breaking something. 1 second. Let me do that. Go back to here.
It won't let you. Let me know. But
yeah, it'll let me. I just have to.
There you go.
I got it because I'm already sharing the screen. I'm finna see if I'm that good. Share screen to this screen. No, not that screen. This screen. Share that.
There we go. It's starting. There it is.
And then pull this up. So now you can see, right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so LK Management owns it. They just bought it 5 months ago for cash deal, $160,000. They bought it to try to fix it up. Evidently, 5 months ago, they just haven't started fixing it up for whatever reason. Maybe their hard money lender didn't give them the money to fix it up. Maybe they ran out of money themselves. Maybe they got other jobs they're bogged down on. We don't know until we contact them and see what's the situation and if they're even willing to sell. There's probably 20,000 properties in that area that are vacant. We can't just go off of a house vacant and thinking that they must want to sell because it's vacant. We don't know. We got to reach out to them. We simply don't know. Okay. They bought it right off the MLS after 1 day, or real quick, pulled off the market. They say houses in decent condition despite being boarded up. Great location near French Street, and I can't say that. It will rent literally in 1 day. Features a 4-year-old furnace, hot water heater, replacement windows, 2-car garage, 1-car driveway could be renovated or added on to. There is mold inside the house, and it's been closed up and boarded up to prevent squatters. This is not a short sale. This is not a REO. This is a normal sale. And somebody bought it right off the MLS. So this is a hot market. I mean, I could just tell how they wrote this. If it's going to rent in 1 day and it's sold in 1 day is what we're looking at, I don't see any reason for them to want to sell it. But I don't know that. I have to contact them to see if they're motivated to sell or want to sell. Does that make sense, Dr. Branch?
Yeah. You said they bought it for $150,000?
They bought it for $160,000 cash.
Yeah, and that's Rutgers, right? You were saying that's Rutgers area?
Yeah.
Rutgers University.
See, this is how the house looked before they boarded it all up and messed it up or whatever they did. But they did that to prevent squatters, which is smart.
Yeah.
That is not a bad looking house. It's the smallest looking house on the street from what I saw a second ago when I was just looking it up. When I pulled it up on a different thing here. Let me see something. Zillow. What does Zillow say? Zillow. So yeah, they just bought it. So it's what it is. It's just a house. And if we look at the street view, you drove by it, you saw it was boarded up, don't mean nothing. And this is what it's a nice looking street. It's the smallest house on that thing. It's right across from, I don't know, is this a pawn shop? What is this? Universal something, some type of business. So, you got to reach out to them and see if they want to sell. But generally, if one of my deal finders are out finding a deal like this, we don't even reach out to people who bought in the last year.
Oh wow.
If they bought within the last 12 months, I don't even try to call them. But that's up to you. All they can do is tell you no.
Hey, I would say it's a little bit different this year with coronavirus. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it was their first investment deal. Maybe they're gun shying out. You just, I agree with Chris. I would not spend time on it. But if you want to, try an initial reach out, it might be different right now.
Yeah, it's right by the hospital or something there. Is that what this little pink area? I think it was a hospital on the map when I was looking. So yeah, it's in a good area. I mean, that could be nurses' quarters or whatever, Airbnb all day, big money right there. But you gotta first of all see if they want to sell. If they don't want to sell, this whole conversation can be deleted.
Yeah, true.
Starts right there. Any other questions about that, Dr. Branch?
I got it. Thank you very much, Chris.
All right, yeah. Reach out to them at wokeskiptracing.com. Get their phone number, give them a call, and see if you can see if they want to do something. They sell them over there for like that much. It looked like 150, 160. Damn, 700. And that's a sold property. That ain't no asking price. We talking about sold.
Yep.
They dropped 0.7 million, like it was nothing. Wow, that was a good deal. $1,600. I'll buy that, and I ain't even from the area.
No doubt.
If they selling anywhere like that, and that went for $1,600, I don't care what the house looked like.
A month ago, just a month ago, man.
I don't even care what the house looked like.
You can't get that in North St. Louis for that.
I mean, if this stuff around is going 300, 400, 700, all these other big numbers, and that's 1,600, sign me up.
Wait, how do you buy a house for 1,600? Doesn't that just decrease the property value for all the other homes around the area now?
Well, I could tell you this, Dr. Branch. You are a doctor because you're thinking. And to be honest with you, things happen that I can never give you an answer for, or nobody can give you an answer for why somebody would sell their property so cheap. People do a lot of weird things. They could have bought it for taxes. They could have been inherited. They could have been, somebody could have just sold it to somebody because they owed them something. They could have died, left it to a child, anything. There's so many things that happen with real estate that some things we just don't have an answer for. And I don't even think about it. I just know that, one, can I find a seller? And two, do you want to sell? If you want to sell, let's talk about that and let's make a deal. Other than that, all this other stuff is just why people do the things they do. We can never really know.
True.
All right, cool.
True that.
So let's see. Stop share. Put y'all back up. Shantae, what up?
Shantae's there.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I didn't think I was gonna catch you this time, but I saw you on. I figured I'd drop in just for a little bit at least.
Right. It was good talking to everybody. All right. That was the end of the meeting.
See
we'll
you.
See everybody.
See you next time. Whoop whoop. So yeah, so that works. So you didn't tell us what are some mistakes that you've learned from though. You dodged the question. You must have been hanging out with Al over there.
Right.
Oh, very good.
He ain't hear me though.
So. Alan's making deals happen. Look
I
at
know.
him.
I ain't gonna mess with him too much. He can't hear me. So what kind of mistakes have you made? You feel like, John?
Not contacting them maybe early enough. Like the second things will pop up on the MLS, it's probably good to give them a call, not to wait, because other people are going to be, the second that pops up, they're going to be on that within the first hour. And that's the thing. So, you got to be that early bird that gets the worm. Not look at all the stuff that's been sitting on there, because if it's been on there for 6 months, I mean, something's going on with it that nobody's touched it. That's the thing. And they probably see something that I don't. But it looks like, if it's been on there a long time, then people are going to end up getting desperate. That's the problem. Some property is going to cost you if you just let it sit, but I might have to go after the early one.
Are you exclusively looking for MLS properties?
No, there was I was actually out here and a realtor had come up to me and she said that she has a lot of clients and she's looking for some property for them in Bergen County. And I was like, I could probably see. She said, it doesn't matter what the price is, just let me know because they're willing to purchase it the same day. And I'm like, oh, well, I could definitely go ahead and do this. She's like, yeah, there's some people from out of town. She met them at some Forest Gate Golf Club or something like that. And I looked them up, and Forest Gate is like pretty huge. It's like an exclusive clubs over here in New Jersey, and they have them in the Hamptons as well. So I guess those guys were looking at the stock market and they saw that, it was going up and down a little bit too volatile. So they want to put their money in real estate. So I said, I'll go ahead and check out a few things right now. So I got to get some new strategies for get some properties, within the next 2 months.
You can. The reason I was asking about MLS, you can. I don't know what other methods you've got for trying to get your leads, but you can go and even in Zillow, you can set up for it to pop up and notify you when a for sale by owner hits. And that's something obviously that's non-MLS, right? So none of your realtor friends or whatever are going to know. So you can go into Zillow, search a specific area or a zip code or whatever, and notify you when for sale by owner pops up in that zip code, and you'll get that email that morning or when that happens. I don't know if you already knew about that, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
I'll go ahead and check that out. Thank you.
That's some good data, good information right there. And when you were saying about the thing a minute ago, it's only two reasons I see in my experience why a house doesn't sell. One, that price is too high, which is usually the case. The price too high, or two, that marketing sucks. Maybe they got piss poor pictures, not any pictures at all, just an outside picture. They don't have a good description. I mean, it's little things that make a property don't sell. So that's, usually what I see. The price is too high or the marketing sucks.
Okay.
And so when I look at a deal, I'm like, where can I add value? Can I adjust the price? Can I help them out with their marketing? Do a full video, nice pictures with well-lit things, to make it better. Put it on other sites, because sometimes these for sale by owners, some of the best deals I found, they just put a sign in the yard. They ain't put it online at all. They ain't do nothing. They say, somebody ride by and see it. One of the best deals I found. Matter of fact, right out here in South County, in Oakville. Sign in the yard, no internet presence whatsoever. So, it can happen.
Yeah.
Sold the house, no money down, 0% interest on terms.
Yep.
So,
Hey, Chris, when you do for sale by owner, like you saw a sign in the yard, what's your conversation with the seller about taking the sign out of the yard so that if one of your buyers drives by, they don't just call up and, cut you out either on purpose or inadvertently? What do you do about that?
Well, typically when they talk to me, nobody's going to offer more than me because they're trying to wholesale. Most people trying to go beat them up and give them $2 for the house. I'm giving them somewhere near full price or more than anybody else going to give them. I'm going to give them more than they're going to give if they put it on the MLS and pay their commission. I'm going to give them more. They ain't going to have no closing costs, no money out of pocket. We'll probably get money at closing. A wholesaler can't touch it most of the times because, like I said, they're giving them $2 for their house. So really that stuff doesn't really affect me because once they lock up with me, I mean, we usually going to the finish line. But if I get it under contract, I'm going to take the sign out the yard myself if I have to. That's the default answer.
Okay.
I'm putting my sign in the yard. It's for sale by me now. As a matter of fact, you just reminded me, I got to order some more signs because we got several, terms deals and several wholesale deals under contract right now. I sent some of them over to you, Shantae. Did you get all those?
I did. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know you like, dang, it's a lot of stuff. Pictures, video, descriptions, all type of junk. I don't even have to go to the house.
I love it.
I make it easy for people they can shop it from out of town. I don't even have to come here. They can buy it from the video and the pictures that I put on there.
That's right. I have some out of town buyers too. So once I get a chance, like I said, I've been busy today, but I'm on it.
Out of town people spend more money too. They cheap here in St. Louis for those who didn't know.
Self-deprecating. That's something about St. Louis. We don't value what we have. It's like, oh, there's people from out of town come say, oh, the arch, let's go see the arch. Like, yeah, we got that thing over there, the arch. Yeah, that's
that big piece of metal. Push it in the river. No.
Right.
Yeah, people do that for sure. And so we were going around, and I guess Shantae jumped in, so we got to ask her the question too now. Let me see.
Oh yeah, get the realtor.
Get her in here. All right, Shantae, what are some mistakes you've made in your real estate endeavors here that you've learned from?
Oh, that's a good one. Being confident. I learned that you have to be confident. And what gave me more confidence was my knowledge. So some of those simple questions I had, like what's the going interest rate? And, I'm a realtor, so I kind of look at things differently. But some of those simple questions I had, I just had to tackle them, and then those things gave me more confidence, and more confidence helps with business. People, if you're not comfortable with what you're doing, they aren't either. So that was a big one for me. And organization. I started off, and I'm still kind of bad with it now. I'll write down everything on like little sticky notes, and then when I really need it, I don't have it. Exactly. And I'm big on writing things down. So now, I just have to do a little investment, like give me like a dry erase board, so I keep track of things that's important, and, just putting things on my bulletin board and keep it in front of me every day.
Now, I've been using this app that's been really good for me. Let me see I think it's called Time Block. You heard of that?
No.
It's called Time Block, BLOCC, I believe. Let me double check. It's been really good. Yeah, Time Block without a K. So Time, BLOK, or BLOC, I'm sorry. It's an app you can download. It's free. You can block out your days, block out your appointments, block out your time. So you have your day already scheduled for tomorrow, next week, or appointments that you have where it'll come up right in your phone. And it's really helped me a lot with managing time, managing things like that. And I've only been using it a couple of weeks, and I'm like, oh, wow, where was this at my whole life?
And you know what? Another big mistake I made is using my heart to do business.
Sound like
Wait a minute, Laura, y'all related?
That's what I just said. Sound like Laura. That's what I just said.
Laura, are y'all related? Sound like y'all saying the same thing. She just said the same thing before you got on here.
Sure did.
But that's one of the things, so when people are in a bind, I find myself trying to, I'm sorry, my mother and my 2-year-old in the background. But I find myself, trying to maybe make it as cheap as I can for them, and then I'm barely eating myself because I'm constantly trying to make it so cheap for them. But then in the end, I had to realize, hey, I'm doing this full time, and my time is my money, and all the things I have at my fingertips. Now that I understand how powerful that is, I just need to scream it loudly so everyone can know what I have now that I understand it. So for example, with my brokerage, I can pull like all kind of cool market data, and I can like get my leads in, and I have like my dedicated website where they can like chat now with me. So just knowing exactly what I have so that I can present it to my clients or my customers so that we can utilize it and making it just very easy. Make it very easy so they can do business.
And and one of the things I try to do to kind of make it easier for me, I just became a good question asker. So what are you going to do if you're not able to sell, Mr. Seller? Let them tell you. I mean, many times it's not me even making an offer and trying to press somebody to do something or beat them up on the price. I let them tell me what they're willing to do. If it makes sense or if we're even close, I can negotiate. But if it's way off, I'm probably not the person for you. It's not you, it's me, and every deal ain't going to work, like we were talking about earlier about that, house that was that lady that didn't want to list or whatever. Everybody got the things they want to do, and I just try to give them what they ask for. You ask for a chicken sandwich, I'm sending you a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps me out of trouble, so it ain't like I pressure nobody into doing nothing, and it can never weigh on my heart. Oh man, I fooled them. I got their house for $2.12. So yeah, that's So, every case is different. And, I guess I have to answer too now. What is a mistake I made? Hey, do I make mistakes? Every dang on day. I love mistakes because I learn from mistakes. I like mistakes. I love mistakes. You learn, and a lot of this stuff you can study, this YouTube university and all of this stuff, and learn and learn and learn and never take any action. You'll never know some of the things because it just ain't in a book. It's just not there until you go through it and experience. Experience is a great teacher. And so one of the mistakes that I made is on my first deal up in Walnut Park. The guy was, motivated, never met him. All this was virtual over the phone. He wanted to sell his house. And I was like, I got all the information, told me about the house. It didn't really need any work. So I said, what do you want for the house? He wants $12,000. So I'm like, all right, let me see some numbers, see what I can do. So I ain't know, first deal. I'm like, well, what could this thing rent for? I found out it can rent for about $600 a month. I said, 600 times 12. What's that? 7,200. That's the offer I'm going to make. So I called him back. So yeah, we did some research on your property, you know, Would you consider 7,200 for your house? Yes. I said, oh, so you know I offer too much. If somebody say yes on the first time. So I offered too much. I could have got it for $5 or $6 grand because they really just want to get from under it. So that was a mistake, you know, offering too much, and you know, I mean, we still made money on the deal. I closed my first deal, made $1,800 on it, but you know, still, I could have got it for less. And you know, it is what it is. So I locked it up for that 7,200. Sent it out for the 12,000 he was asking for to see. I said, well, I guess he know if he say that's what he want for. Let's see if somebody else will buy it for that. And some kind of way, I stumbled and fumbled and got to the finish line, and don't know how, but we got there. Made mistakes all the way throughout.
That's cool, man.
So don't be afraid of mistakes. That's what I would say.
He said, what's 6 times 12?
600 times 12, 7,200. That's my offer. Somebody should want to buy this for 1 year's worth of rent, right? And looking back on it, I wish I could have bought that thing myself. But you know,
that's cool.
So yeah, and so I found a buyer at the last minute on that thing. The day he called, I said, "Yeah, we got it at the title company. We ready to go." And so we got it closed up. Made $1,800. Sold it to a person I never met. The whole deal was virtual. Never met the seller. Never met the buyer. And locked it up before I even seen the house. So I came into the game virtual. I know a lot of people be like, "I gotta go run out and see the house." Man, I need to talk to the person. I'll see the house eventually, but that's the easy part to me.
You know, a lot of people still don't believe that virtual exists or work. I'm just looking at them like, man, how do you, and don't think deals are being done. People just think, oh, the corona, oh, the jobs. Man, people got money. Deals are being done. Closings are taking place every single hour throughout this country. And it's funny, like with something that you said about the 5 people, 4 of them, and you hanging around, you have to be, you know, they're just blind to it because they're not in the sector. They're not in this circle. They don't get it. So I don't even communicate with people in a certain way that I do with you guys, because this type of conversation is not that type of conversation. So I don't do it because unfortunately some people see it different. No.
See, I had a conversation with anybody. I'm fearless. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care if you don't like me. It is what it is. I have taken it in my mind that life is life. You know,
like I can talk to people, like you said, but I won't just get to cutting into them about real estate if they don't get it. So it was just kind of be on falling on deaf ears. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, that like that. But yeah, conversation and anything, we can go all day. But you know, or sometimes if you know, you can bring up something and then, you know, the curveball come, then I shut it down because that's an argument and it's a no-brainer. They don't know. I do. Why would you argue with a fool? And I don't just mean it that way. It's just said that way. You know, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's all I'm saying. But the thing I like when I come online like this, man, I can go all day. That's why I came back on. Yeah. I don't interact with anybody out here that kind of way yet. And so this is good, you know, and I can just roll with you, especially hearing everything that I don't know and listening to you guys. This is a game changer in the gate.
That's right. You got to get around the right type of people. They got to elevate you, push you to success. Success, I don't even know what my shirt say. Success is the best revenge. Prove them all wrong.
What's up?
Don't let them tell you that, oh, you can't do this. And I don't try to even make people feel like they, you know, even if we're talking, like you said, this level, you can't talk to some people. I would agree. But, you know, many times I've said things to spark somebody to get up off their behind and take some action. Many times, you know, they just need somebody to wake them up a little bit, a little snap, because they don't believe it's real.
Yeah.
Until you show them just like family members and stuff, you show them the shut up check. Say, what? You say this ain't real? What's this?
And when I was telling you about Rich and James Thomas, the shut up money.
Show them the shut up check.
Yeah, shut up check. That's it. Because they say it all, but when they see it, you know how you start smiling and then your mouth starts changing. That's that shut up. That's that shut up money.
Yep. When you're around people that tell you can't do something, you can't do something, you can't do something, you know, you start to buy into it.
Yeah.
You do. You start. That's what you hear, and you believe it. And it goes from everything. I mean, go from your business to real estate. I mean, that's a lot of times that's what hit kids here. You know, kids here,
Yeah.
no all the time. You wonder why they have a negative attitude. You know, you wonder why they can't believe in themselves.
I guess I'm backwards or weird because somebody tell me you can't do something. I'll be trying to figure out a way that I can do it.
Yep.
I'm gonna find a way to do it. Say just to prove you wrong, I'm gonna show you something.
Oh, that bothers me. You ain't kidding, Chris. I won't stop.
So just for you saying I can't do it, I'm gonna do it for sure now.
It's that motivational drive that kicks in like in 12th gear now. Because at the end, I'm like, man, and it makes you think harder. It makes you just push and push, like you said. And when it's there, you start getting that feeling. That's that winning feeling. That successful feeling. Like, man. And then you don't even tell them. They just got to hear about it. For real? He did? She did? Oh. That's when, you hear that, oh. I said the wrong thing, so it's kind of cool. Like you said, it's
I know that's right.
It's for you. At the end of the day, it's for you.
You do what you gotta do. All right, I guess is it getting
cigarette boat?
Right. I guess is it getting close to wrapping it up? Anybody got closing arguments, closing statements they want to say before we get up out of here and do some more woke stuff?
Hey, where did you get the song for your intro?
For my intro, a guy did it out of Atlanta. He actually made it, then sold it to me. I said, I guess. He said, yeah, I'm gonna sell it to you. I said, yeah, you a tough one.
Proactive, man. Proactive.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And I helped him out. What was his name? That was The Vessel. He go by The Vessel.
The Vessel. That's good.
But I'm actually getting ready to make an updated one. I'm probably finna hit up Dutch Jackson. Have him hook me up with another one.
Dutch.
Yeah. He make everybody stuff.
I just talked to Dutch.
Oh, you did?
I just talked to him like yesterday.
Yeah, good bro right there. So yeah, definitely gonna get that done. Any other closing statements anybody want to make?
Shantae, don't forget to call me. I did actually get a chance to reach out to Keith real quick, and I just told him that we all need to be on the call together. So I knew what you had to do today, and he said he's completely free tomorrow too. So you schedule when you think, and maybe we can all get together and do a Zoom.
And also, you people that's in the chat that's just listening back, y'all can speak and not show your camera. You don't have to text into the thing. You can speak and ask questions without showing your camera.
Like Nick was saying he didn't have a mic.
Oh, he's micless.
So, but he just commented and said he had a mistake that he's learned from, that he had a deal, but he didn't get back to the seller quick enough.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Follow up is my biggest weakness. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but if I had follow, you know how many houses I've seen to go get listed and get sold that I could have locked up and did a deal with before that, just because I didn't follow up? So many, probably about 25, probably more than that, but that's crazy. The fortunes are in the follow up.
That's my list of calls to follow up from today.
Dang.
I gotta get on those in the next 24 hours.
Right.
So you got to do it. You got to, and it just depends on your personality. You get on it and keep going, or you got to call, take a couple minute break, call another one, whatever. Once you do it, I mean that you, like you said, the fortune's in the follow up.
That's where it's at. If you ain't following up, you falling off. I just came up with that on the fly.
Follow up is key. I was bad with that too. And then, I circled back on one guy. Actually, it was a year later, and he ended up being my first deal. And the whole first year, I was chicken. And then I called him back, and he was my very first deal, and he gave me the house.
Wow.
Dang.
I mean, it can be scary, right? I mean, you think like they can reach through the phone and cut you or something. It's like the worst thing they can say is, no, I'm not selling my house, right? You're right, though, but we still have that human nature. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't know if I want to call them out. I get it.
Wait a minute. Laura over there cooking up something good.
Are you delivering? Are you the deal dash today?
No, we're just eating some catfish. So I just get whatever I got.
Ooh, don't do us like that.
What was that address again?
No, send us a virtual plate.
I will drive right now.
That's crazy.
Hey, I was going to add one more thing about follow-up. So one of the things I've learned over the years is, obviously you want to follow up, quickly or regularly, but if you fall off, and like Shante just said, 1 year, right? Don't ever not follow up because too much time has passed. That is actually a golden opportunity most of the time. Because there have been times where like I've reached out to people who I said I was going to get back to them in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I was a beginner and I chickened out and I never did. And 2 years later, I call them and I kind of got to, and it turns into a deal. So I'm just saying you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So follow up on your old leads. As long as they still own it, call. Those are going to be good deals. Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. I wish I could do some follow-ups now, but it's already almost 8 o'clock. Kind of late to be calling people.
Guys. So what's the next run on? The next one is your Tuesday?
2 weeks.
June 16th. That's for me. Chris has got things going every Monday.
What you got going, Chris? And then coming up.
So what I got is each and every Monday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. You got the Chris Monroe Show talking about Subject 2, talking about lease options, talking about wraparound mortgages, talking about all this creative real estate stuff, and I bring on some guests as well. Next week, I'm doing a deal case analysis on a deal that I actually just closed out with 2 different buyers and 2 different checks on the same little old house and break it all down. One little house that I thought was junk ended up being one of the best houses. How the golden goose keep laying those golden eggs. After that, let's see here. The following week after that, what do we got? We're on with so every Monday night, 7 o'clock Central.
Okay, so that's on the 8th at 7 o'clock Central.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
And actually, here's what you can do. I made it easy. See, I'm a systems guy. Text JV to 31996. Text JV to 31996. That'll get you on a notification, and you'll get you'll be notified. You don't have to remember nothing. So just text JV to 31996. How easy is that?
That'll work. It's been a pleasure, everybody. Shante, don't forget to hit me up. Rich, the Doc, Laura, everybody. But guess what? I got to get down here to Las Vegas and get me some grub, man. I can't keep doing this. I've been doing my push-ups. Man, I still do push-ups. I kid you not. I actually still do them. I still do my push-ups. And I'm on this Nugenic stuff. So my sister said that's a lot of iron and you're starting to eat more and more. I always had my high metabolism when I was in the military. They used to laugh at me in the chow hall. I used to just eat. And I didn't gain a lot of weight. And they used to get mad and I just be eating. So it kind of just in the genes. But man, this is what you call a double bubble. This was sweet, man. Cool. Beginning of the day, closing out the day. Sun rising east, setting in the west. This was tight. I tell you, man, this was, for me, this is what I needed, and this is what I prayed about. And, I always know about the law of attraction, and even, honestly, I'll tell you, because I know me, nothing against anybody else's religion, but without God, I just know. And I already did it that way, and it didn't work. But I'm serious, in the last 2 days, literally, I started praying, saying, Lord, I need you to come through. I know you're a miracle maker. I said, I need you to show me, do I need to stay here or go on down to Florida, because I was kind of getting unbalanced about it. Just give me a direction and I'll go on and I won't complain.
Moving to the next place, huh?
And it's sticking. So now I see, because I'm serious, it's gonna work, just like you said, because he already did his part. I just gotta do mine. And it's just gonna go wham. And like Laura, I agree. And just like what you said, Chris, you call into existence, call those things as though they were. Know you're gonna have it before you receive it. Visualize it, always see it. I see it. And with this short 6 months or 7 months left of the year, watch how everyone capitalize as if they started from January to 1st. Your finance is gonna increase, everything increase. It's just gonna come that way. It can happen like that. I mean, that split second of me drawing back to this laptop and seeing you, Rich, changed everything.
That's right.
It really did.
So thanks again to Rich Groves putting it together in any weather.
I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you, Chris, for streaming this and getting it out there in front of so many people. So we appreciate that, man.
Cool. So I'll see y'all next time. Do what you do. Be who
I'm
you
out.
be. And I'll see
Send us
you
a virtual
before
plate,
you
Laura.
see me.
See you,
All
everybody.
right, guys. All right,
Take
Shantae.
it. Sounds good. See you, everybody.
Awesome. Have a blessed week.
Peace. And that's how we're going to do it, family. Right here each and every other Tuesday. Let me put my camera on over here. Put my camera on so y'all can see me. Boom. So that's how it goes, everybody. So make sure you hit that follow button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the notification bell, because you never know when we're going live every time. Thanks for everybody that jumped in. Don't forget, this broadcast was brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Get accurate skip tracing as low as 15 cents per match, not per search, per match. WokeSkipTracing.com. Any other questions, comments, concerns before I roll? Let's see what we got here before I roll up out of her. It looks like we got it all there. Let's see. Let me take some of this stuff off here. Too many things on the screen. Too many things on the screen. So I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. You can do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Peace.
And we have and we have Mr. I stay and Mr. I stay.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Look up phone numbers and email addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match, not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com.